Hi everybody, well I didn't get my wish. Last week I suggested and hoped that Timeform pub quiz, the first edition, would indeed be the last edition as well. But racing, live racing anyway, remains a fair way away as it seems, and we'll be doing our best to keep you entertained and informed maybe between now and then. And this is the second one of these quizzes, as I say. Catch up with last week's if you can. And again, as last week, we'll have a range of Timeform faces delivering a range of sort of Timeform based questions, but a lot of racing general knowledge as well across the spectrum. And this week we're starting with my chosen category, which is Cheltenham Gold Cups. And we'll start off with the first of 5 questions in this round now. Question 1. Who's the only person this century to have both ridden and trained the winner of the Cheltenham Gold Cup? Who's the only person this century to have both ridden and trained the winner of the Cheltenham Gold Cup? Question 2. Which former Triumph Hurdle winner finished second to best mate the first year best mate won the Gold Cup? He went on to win it twice more, but which Triumph Hurdle winner finished second to him on the first of those victories? Question 3. Who was the last horse to finish placed in a Gold Cup after winning a Grand National the season before? The last horse to finish placed in a Gold Cup after winning the National the year before. Question 4. Which horse was responsible, this is a funny one, which horse was responsible for carrying out Seymour Business, the favourite, in 1998? And this horse then prompted a very entertaining passage in the trainers, in Seymour Business's trainer's book, that would be in Paul Nicholls, of course, on the subject. So, which horse was responsible for carrying out the following year's Gold Cup winner Seymour Business in 1998? And that indeed did prompt a very memorable passage in Paul Nicholls' book. Question 5, finally. Guess the year and the first 3 home in the Gold Cup from these SPs: 5-4, 9-2 and 40-1. 5-4, 9-2 and 40-1. Which year was that Gold Cup and who were the 3 horses in question? That completes the first round.
So moving on to the next round, this is all to do with the 1,000 guineas from 2000 to 2009. So the first question is, which horse in 2002 completed the 1,000 guineas and Oaks double? So that's which horse completed the 1,000 guineas and Oaks double in 2002. Question number 2. Footsteps in the Sand won the 2005 2,000 guineas, but which stablemate won the 1,000 guineas that year? So which stablemate of Footsteps in the Sand won the 1,000 guineas in 2005? Question number 3. Which horse won the 2007 Cheveley Park Stakes as a 2-year-old and then went on to win the 1,000 guineas the following year in 2008? So which horse won the 2007 Cheveley Park and the 2008 1,000 guineas? Question number 4. Pam Sly trained SPECIOSA to win the 2006 renewal, but who rode her? So that's who rode SPECIOSA to win the 1,000 guineas in 2006. And then finally, question number 5. In 2003, Russian Rhythm won her first Group 1 in the 1,000 guineas. Can you name the remaining 3 Group 1s she would win throughout her career? So which 3 Group 1s did Russian Rhythm win after she won the 1,000 guineas in 2003?
Quote number 1. She's like the boxer who knows how to win on points rather than win with the immediate knockout. Quote number 2. I think that if you have a mature 3-year-old who stays a mile and a half well, then you've got to be a bit of a wanker to worry about a handicap mark. Quote number 3. I trained his father, you know. Quote number 4. He'd be a dangerous person to take out on a night on the town. He'd pick a fight with someone who's 10 foot tall in a bar. Quote number 5. He saw all the fillies coming back in from the Duke of Cambridge and thought they were very interesting, so he had a little chat with them.
Ordinarily, we would be coming up towards the Greenham Stakes, which is one of the main trials for the 2000 Guineas. The Greenham's an interesting race in its own right, though, so this round is going to be themed around that. And the first question for the Greenham round is, FRANKEL in 2011 was the last Greenham winner to go on and achieve victory in the 2000 Guineas, but which horse is the most recent 2000 Guineas winner to also compete in the Greenham? Question 2 is Sir Henry Cecil and Richard Hannon Sr. are the joint leading trainers in the Greenham with 6 wins apiece. Name Richard Hannon Sr.'s most recent winner. Question 3. Frankie DETTORI has ridden the Greenham winner 4 times. For which trainer did he gain his first success? Question 4. Which horse won both the Greenham and the French Derby and finished second in the 2000 Guineas as a 3-year-old, yet failed to match his monster 2-year-old Timeform rating of 138? And finally, question 5. Since the turn of the millennium, the Greenham has twice been hosted away from Newbury. The 2000 run-in took place at Newmarket. Name the year and the course for the other occasion.
This round is all about the exploits of one of the leading owners in the game over the last 25 years or so in Godolphin. With a rating of 140, Dubai Millennium holds the accolade of being Godolphin's best horse on Timeform ratings. However, when he won the Prince of Wales Stakes in 2000 by 8 lengths, he didn't even start favourite. Which horse was the market leader that day? SOLEIMANI became Godolphin's 100th Group or Grade 1 winner when taking the Arlington Million in 2003. But what were the unusual circumstances that led to that victory? Godolphin have had just 2 winners on Champions Day at Ascot since it was inaugurated in 2011. Musadas in the Balmoral in 2015 was one, but which horse has given them their only Group 1 success at the meeting? Charlie Appleby began training for Godolphin in 2013, but which horse provided him with his first Group 1 winner the following year? The final question in this round. Godolphin have won the Gold Cup at Royal Ascot on 5 occasions, but which 4 horses have been responsible for those victories? Thanks for playing.
The next round in the Timeform Pub Quiz Edition 2 centres on the favourite horse of learned Timeform colleague Phil Turner, that horse being Night Nurse, and Phil has compiled 5 questions for me to read out, so any blame for any factual inaccuracies, which are very highly unlikely, it's got to be said, must be directed to @CastleMy on Twitter. Question 1 about Night Nurse. What was the longest unbeaten sequence that Night Nurse enjoyed over hurdles? So what was the longest unbeaten sequence that Night Nurse enjoyed over hurdles? Question 2. Night Nurse was sent off favourite for which valuable flat rate in 1977? Question 3. Which champion jockey rode Night Nurse in the 1979 Cheltenham Gold Cup? Question 4. How many times did Night Nurse run at the Cheltenham Festival? And question 5, finally, which racecourse was the scene of Night Nurse's final win? Which racecourse was the scene of Night Nurse's final win? Oops, wrong show. So, Timeform Pub Quiz, second edition and first round answers coming up now. This was all about the Cheltenham Gold Cup. 5 questions, 5 answers. We're going to run through them very quickly. So, question 1, we wanted to know who was the only person this century to have both ridden and trained the winner of a Gold Cup. That was Jim Calotti, who rode the winner 3 times on Best Mate and trained the winner with Lord Windermere. Question 2, we wanted to know which former Triumph Hurdle winner finished second to Best Mate when Best Mate started his sequence of 3 wins. That was Comanche Court. Question 3, the answer, we wanted to know who was the last horse to finish placed in a Gold Cup the year after winning the National. That was in 2010, and it was Mon Mome who finished 3rd. Question 4, which horse was responsible for carrying out the following year's Gold Cup winner Seymour Business, prompting a very memorable passage from the trainer Paul Nicholls' book in 1998. That was Cyborgo, trained by Martin Pipe. And finally, we wanted you to guess the year and the identity of the first 3 home in the Gold Cup based on SPs only. Those SPs were 5-4, 9-2 and 40-1. And the answer to that was in 2007, Corto Star beat Exotic Dancer and Turpin Green. So best of luck, I hope you did well with those. On to the answers for the next rounds with my colleagues.
So moving on to the answers for the 1,000 Guineas round from the year 2000 to 2009. The first question was which horse won the 2002 double, the 1,000 Guineas and the Oaks? It was Kazier, trained by Sybin Sarot. Question number 2, which stablemate of Footsteps in the Sand, who won the 2005 2,000 Guineas, won the 1,000 Guineas that year? It was, of course, Virginia Waters, trained by Aidan O'Brien. Question number 3 was which horse won the Cheveley Park in 2007 and the 1,000 Guineas in 2008? It was the French-trained Natagora. Question number 4, Pam Sly trained Speciosa in 2006, but who rode her? It was Mickey Fenton. And then question number 5, which 3 Group 1s did Russian Rhythm win throughout her career after the 1,000 Guineas? It was that season's Coronation Stakes at Royal Ascot, the Nassau at Glorious Goodwood, and then she'd win the Lockinge on her reappearance before being retired.
Answers for the John Gosden quotes round as follows. Quote number 1 was, she's like the boxer who knows how to win on points rather than win with the immediate knockout. That was Enable. Question 2, I think if you have a mature 3-year-old who stays in a 1.5 mile well, then you have to be a bit of a wanker to be worrying about a handicap mark, was Percussionist. Quote number 3, I trained his father, you know, was Jack Hobbs. Question 4, quote 4, he'd be a dangerous person to take on a night out. He'd pick a fight with someone who's 10 foot tall in a bar. That was Stradivarius. And question 5, he saw all the fillies coming back in from the Duke of Cambridge and he thought they were very interesting indeed. So he had a little chat with all of them. That was Cracksman. Quote number 5, Cracksman.
The answers for the Greenham round. Question 1. Name the most recent 2,000 Guineas winner to also compete in the Greenham. That was Knight of Thunder, who finished 2nd in the 2014 Greenham to Kingman. Question 2. Name Richard Hannon Sr.'s most recent Greenham winner. That was Olympic Glory in 2013. Question 3. Frankie Dettori's first Greenham winner. The trainer was Roger Charlton, and it was Inchinor in 1993. Question 4, the horse with the huge Timeform 2-year-old rating of 138, that was Celtic Swing, and he won the 1995 Greenham. Finally, question 5. The Greenham, it was hosted at Newmarket in 2000. It was also hosted at Chelmsford in 2016, and that was a race won by Tasleet.
Right then, we've now got the answers for the Godolphin round. Question 1, the first one that we asked, which was the horse that started favourite for Dubai Millennium's Prince of Wales Stakes? That was Sendawar. The second question, the unusual circumstances that were behind Soleimani's Arlington Million victory. Basically, he finished second past the post that day, but the first past the post, storming home, was disqualified and placed fourth after interfering with 2 other horses. Question 3, alongside Musadas, it was Far in the 2013 Champion Stakes, who was Godolphin's only other winner at that meeting so far. Question 4, it was Charming Thought that gave Charlie Appleby his first ever Group 1 winner in the 2014 Middle Park Stakes. And then the Gold Cup winners that Godolphin have had, they've had 5 winners, and it was 4 horses that gave them that. Classic Cliché in 1996, Cafe Tara in 1998 and 2000, Papineau in 2004, and most recently was Colour Vision in 2012. Thanks for playing.
So, Timeform friend and colleague Phil Turner's love affair with Night Nurse made its way into this quiz. 5 questions we had about him, and here are the 5 answers. Question 1, the longest unbeaten sequence that he enjoyed over hurdles. That was 10 wins. Pretty remarkable, really. The answer to question 2, that was Night Nurse was sent off favourite for which valuable flat handicap in 77. That was the Chester Cup. Question 3 was which champion jockey rode Night Nurse in the 1979 Gold Cup. That was Graham Thorner. Question 4, how many times did Night Nurse run at the Cheltenham Festival? 7. And which racecourse, this was question 5, which racecourse was the scene of Night Nurse's final win? And that, believe it or not, was Wolverhampton. Hope you did well.